suppose the question from an outsider might be, how can we justify being part of a regime that we've both described as quite anachronistic?
Absolutely, and you know, it's a question that's often asked of me as being still working within a professional capacity with people with learning disabilities, and my response to that was that despite the perceived perversity of that was what was expected by society. So society had a view that that was okay. You know, it was only gradually that society changed and moved to a more enlightened view of how life should be for vulnerable people, including people with learning disabilities. And I would argue that there are still groups within society that would say, out of sight, out of mind, we don't want these people living in our communities, and so on and so forth. So I you know, even now in 2007, I don't think we would say that we have a fully inclusive society that would embrace people with learning disabilities, or indeed people with mental health problems, et al., with open arms. And I think if you believe that's the case, then you're not looking clearly.
Mm. Mm. It's a difficult one to convey to people. I think how fun it was to work there in many ways.
How you know, so, and I do think you had. I certainly think that it shaped my thinking as to how I believed that people with learning disabilities should be supported, and that was not within a hospital environment, and that led me down my career pathway as it is. I also think that it is still an incredibly potent and useful experience to have in supporting people with learning disabilities within their community. We still support a very large number of people who spent huge amounts of time within long-stay hospital environments. And that's going to be the case probably for the next 20 or 30 years. And I think if you don't understand and the experience, you don't understand the exposure that that person may have had to an institutional environment, you'll never really understand them as individuals. So I find that the experience has been incredibly useful, even now in my practice, as being able to reflect and empathize, genuinely empathize with it. I think if you read books and by all means research, you will never know what it was like because you were never there. And that's the legacy that it leaves for me.